Hi, welcome to our first show. This is G&A. I'm David Sutter.
This is Avery, Tomlinson.
And we're going to start off by talking about what we feel are the three biggest games this Saturday. Arkansas taking down Ole Miss, Florida State beating Boston College barely, and Louisville beating Notre Dame. We'll start with Arkansas shutting out number 8 Ole Miss, 30-0.
Horrible.
I don't understand how that happened.
At the beginning of the season, first 4 or 5 weeks, I thought there was going to be 2 SEC teams in the playoffs. I thought it was going to be Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Mississippi State at 1, Ole Miss at 4. I don't know what happened to Ole Miss. I don't know where they went.
I don't know. What did they lose to? Who did they lose to?
Auburn, I believe. Auburn.
I think it was Auburn. Well, their next game, they played Mississippi State, which we'll talk about later.
Auburn.
Yeah, their first game lost to Auburn, and after that, they're pulled to Notre Dame. They can't seem to come back after loss to Auburn.
It just bottom fell out for them. They're a good team.
They are. They deserve top 10. I don't feel though.
Shut out by unranked Arkansas is pretty bad. 30-0. They didn't shut out LSU the week before. That was.
Yeah, and Arkansas shuts out LSU the week before. Arkansas unranked. I believe they deserve to be in the top 10.
Not top 10.
Or top 25. I feel they deserve to be in top
20, 18, around there. They're a tough team. They're not a great team.
Yeah.
But they're a tough team.
They should definitely be in the top 10. Our next game, Notre Dame losing to Louisville.
Where'd Notre Dame go?
Notre Dame lost to Florida State.
They were in my playoffs for a few weeks.
I thought they were in.
Like they just let everything go down after that loss to Florida State.
I thought for sure they were in. I didn't think there was any way that they were going to be taken down. I thought for sure they would beat Florida State, and I thought they had enough to end the game, but I don't know what was up with that last penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty.
No.
The guy was being blocked. It was a block.
It happened. It'd be a lot different if that was earlier in the game. Then nobody would care. But at that point in the game, the referee might have should have
any penalty.
Probably should have let that one go.
It wasn't.
Unless it was something like I forgot his feet.
It was. I think
maybe that's just because we've been wanting them to lose.
Yeah. Very. Not
necessarily they don't like Florida State.
They don't.
They're overrated. But okay, let's not do exactly. But Louisville beats Notre Dame by a field goal. Something else that should have happened. Notre Dame has just lost.
Notre Dame is not.
They're like Florida State, but losing.
They started out strong because
very strong.
All right. Third and final game of this one. Florida State beating Boston College.
Second field goal.
Second field goal. Florida State is having too many close games.
They're not a good team.
No,
they are not worthy of that third place spot.
They're
not worthy of a 5 spot.
Louisville just about comes up and beats
Clemson, Boston College. Probably will lose to Georgia Tech. That's what I'm saying. Miami, North Carolina State.
If they don't lose to Georgia Tech, I'll be very surprised.
Georgia Tech's not good. Florida State should not be in the playoffs, and if it stays how it is right now, they're going to get run out by Oregon.
Florida State has had one good game, and that was against Wake Forest. That's an understandable win because
43-3. That's a pretty good game against Wake Forest.
Yeah. All these other games.
They only have a few wins this season, but
all the early games.
Maybe Georgia Tech, or not Georgia Tech, my bad. Virginia Tech. Which that's not a big thing for them. By the end of the season, on their good note.
None of these games were easy wins for Florida State.
They're not as good as they used to be. Last year I really liked how good they were. They looked like a good team. No team was good this year.
Anyone can beat anybody.
No, I don't like the top 4. I don't think Alabama's that great. I don't think Oregon's that great. I don't think Florida State's that great. I don't think Mississippi State's that great. The only problem is that there's no one to replace them with. There's no one playing.
I like Oregon, and I like Mariota. and I like Alabama, and I like what both those teams are doing. I feel like those are two strong teams, and I like them at 1 and 2. Like you said, they're all.
Is Alabama really going to be? Is Alabama really going to be there in a week or so? When after playing Auburn, are they going to be Auburn?
I think they can. I think Alabama can beat Auburn.
They're going to want to after the embarrassing. What I think was them being cocky and trying to hit that field goal when they should have moved the ball into overtime.
Yeah. I think Alabama.
I feel like they want that game, but I feel like they might make another stupid mistake.
They need to be smart. Is what they need to do.
I don't think that. This is a great year for the college football playoffs next start because it's like there's no number one team. I don't think any of these teams are worthy of the number one spot like they have in the last few years.
A lot of these teams are equals.
Nobody should have first. There should not be a first place team.
Start with number 2.
Right. Or everybody can be tied from like Alabama to like Ole Miss. Not Ole Miss. Let's go to Georgia. Take out UCLA. I don't think they're good. They're not great.
What do you feel should be the top 10? Who do you feel should be in the top 10?
Well, if you're asking me playoff wise, I'm not going off of who I think best teams. I think who would play best in playoffs have Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, TCU, and then the first 2 out Mississippi State and Georgia.
I feel the top 10 is in this order: Alabama, Oregon, Mississippi State, Ohio State, TCU, Florida State down at 6. Baylor, Ole Miss, UCLA, and then Michigan State at 10.
There's not going to be 2 SEC teams in the top 4. I think
they can't.
It's not going to happen.
No. Which is
Alabama and Mississippi State are in the same division in the SEC there.
Yeah.
What did we say? What did we find that they were probably going to play? Georgia? Was it? Or Georgia Tech? No. It was Georgia. No, it wasn't. Georgia Tech. Okay, hold on, I'm thinking. I'm sorry, no. The SEC championship right now would be Alabama and Georgia. Right?
I don't know. But after all that, I feel that in the playoffs, it'll probably be Alabama versus TCU, Oregon versus Ohio State, and Alabama win, Oregon winning, and then I feel Oregon can win it all. I'd like to see that. If they can can win the championship, I think they'll make the championship. I don't think they'll win it. If they win it, I would take back everything that I said about them because they've been in the top 5 for a very long time. I don't understand why you don't like it.
They've been in the top 5 for a long time, and they haven't been to a championship in a very long time. Yeah, they've been in the top 5. They haven't been in a championship.
I like Oregon, and not just because they're jerseys.
That's why they're up there. That's the only thing I just like. They have like what? 10 points? I don't know.
Alright, so who do you feel is going to be the top 4 by the end of the season? Who do you think is going to the playoffs?
Yeah, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State, TCU. Yeah, they're not going to put the ACC champion in there. I feel like there's enough competition in the ACC. If they were to put in the ACC, then I think they'd take out the Big 12. I don't think they would take out the Big 10.
What's they take it?
Because Big 12 doesn't play a conference championship game, and to me, that just doesn't feel like a true championship.
You could argue the fact that Ohio State doesn't have much competition.
Big 12 doesn't have a championship game.
We've talked about that. Ohio State.
Okay.
Ohio State. They've done better than Florida State.
Fuck Ohio State.
Not
necessarily we're fans, but yeah, we're fans.
I like Ohio State.
We're Ohio State fans.
Put it that way.
We both did not put them in the playoffs. We just want to show, we want to be honest, we're not going to talk about them because we're biased about Ohio State. It's basically, we think they're a great team. Everybody's talking about them, really.
It's all over. They talked about it on sports. They're talking about it on sports. They're a good team. They're a good team. When you look at their scores, they lost to Virginia Tech. That's it. All the other games.
And you know what? It was the second game of the season.
Big win right there.
You know, like they're gone. You know what I mean? Like that loss is gone. That's why I just did that. You know.
Big win.
It was J.C. Barrett's second game as a quarterback. And yeah, let's get to the top of this. Let's just scroll through there.
Big win.
I forgot Ohio State. Big win. Oh, it was the first game of the season, wasn't it?
I didn't think it was the first game of the season.
I guess it was. Okay, you have
Oh, well.
Ohio State lost Virginia Tech by 2 touchdowns. J.C. Barrett's first game, I guess. I thought it was second.
Either way. He's
He's a freshman.
What
do you expect from him?
He's a freshman quarterback who
He
doesn't
has
have...
to a not young but not old team who doesn't have a tough schedule, but is
They weren't put together.
They weren't put together, and it wasn't their fault. It was an injury that was bad for them. And then the next game, he got it together. Ohio State fell from 8-22. Ohio State fell 14 spots, and then shut out Kent State 66-0. I know it's hard to get a shutout even against a bad team. It's not easy to get a shutout.
No.
And then you see the next game, 50-28 over Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 52-24 over Maryland.
Maryland's
did
being
not-
a nice team.
They're
not
a great
horrible.
team, but for their first year in the Big Ten, they're decent. Beating Michigan. Both of these teams beat Michigan.
I don't
Anyway.
think too much on that. Michigan.
56-17 over Rutgers. That's a pretty big one. 31-24 overtime over Penn State.
Penn State.
We always struggle against Penn State.
We always struggle against Penn State and Purdue.
We're not playing Purdue a lot, though.
No, but every time we do.
And then
we play them. Didn't Ohio State play them last year?
No, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. They
But
struggle.
Ohio State, I didn't notice that. Ohio State went from 13-16 this season. Oh, that was because that's the first college football playoff game. That was the first college football playoff game. Anyway, Ohio State beat Illinois and got a lot of the Illinois.
And then the Ohio State, Michigan State.
That was an amazing game. We had, at this house, this guy, a lot of people here. That was a fun night. Anyway, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about. 12-point win over one of the best defenses in the country.
I didn't think.
Everybody started out talking about them since then.
First quarter, I didn't think it. I thought.
I know you didn't.
I was really bad. Ohio State,
Anyway,
Minnesota.
Big win. Ohio State win, but it was almost like a blizzard in Minnesota. It's not easy. It was crazy. I mean, snow everywhere. You can't expect a team to blow someone out.
That's not wrong. I was in Columbus.
I didn't watch that. Well, it was in Minnesota. Okay, next game is Indiana. It was a little close. It was a 7-point game, I think, going in the fourth quarter. They scored 28 points in the fourth quarter alone. Like that's 42-27. That's a good one.
They definitely pulled through the second half. And
It's like Florida State, they always play good in the second half. They win. Even better than, and then game versus Michigan this Saturday. Everybody's excited for that. Except for the people in Michigan, they're probably terrified.
yeah, I wouldn't be too excited for that.
Well, you
I
never
feel
bad
bad
for Michigan. Although I can't stand Michigan, I feel like this is a really bad season for them, and I do feel a little bad for them.
Well, speaking of next week's football game, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Ole Miss is falling out. Mississippi State.
Ole Miss is falling. Mississippi State is like
They're there.
they're a good team. They're almost there. But when I think of them, I don't think of. You would think since they were the number one team, you would think of them. You want to think of them as that Alabama who won 2 state championships. But the fact of the matter is, there's no team that is that Alabama who won 2 championships. Nobody is a team that is supported by like Tomlinson and all like what you do. There's nobody who you can say. If I had to pick someone to win that game, I really like Mississippi State.
I don't know. Being an Ohio State fan, I would almost say I'd like to see Ole Miss win just to see Mississippi State go down.
Well, Mississippi State's not going to win the playoffs anyway. They might be in that top 4, but when you see the final rankings come out, they're not going to be after the conference championship week. They're not going to be in there.
I mean, you never really know because you don't know what goes on in those conferences. I mean, for all we know, they may feel that Mississippi State they just put up so much.
Why? So they can get shut out by Alabama again? You really think anybody wants to watch that game again?
Hey.
I don't. I didn't think it was pretty.
Hey, you never know.
But you never know. No. Mississippi State is a good team. They don't need a playoff spot. They don't. They don't need to think. They're going to make them think that they're really, really good. But in reality, they're not one of the top 4 teams in the country.
Auburn, Alabama. What about that one?
Well, mine tells me Auburn just because I want Alabama to lose. because I'm not a big fan of Alabama. But
I like it.
It's gonna be a good game. Last year was an embarrassing finish for them.
I don't know. I like Alabama. I think they can win.
I think they can do that. Either of them can win. But if Alabama decides to make the stupid mistake and make a kicking field goal to win the game last year, then
yeah, but what were the odds? What were the odds of that? What were the odds of that happening? I mean, you really.
Well, it was like a 50-yard field goal, so this guy already has 50 yards to run with that before he hits a wall, and he was bad. Who expected him to be back there? I'm not even sure. I didn't even know he was back there. I was watching the game. I don't think anybody knew he was back there. He caught the ball. You kind of had to know right when he caught the ball like this, he was about to be.
Well, if I were the guy who caught the ball, I wouldn't have expected to get anywhere after that.
He was confident. He knew he was gonna. He caught that ball and he knew what he was gonna do, and it was amazing. That's probably one of the best football games I've ever seen.
It's weird because I don't see how you can return that. It's like the Falcons-Browns game, not to bring NFL into this, but the Browns went to kick a field goal and they missed, and they had the kicker get them. He went through everyone, and the kicker had to get him. But I mean, I guess when you're all piled up on that line, I guess it does make it easier to find a better place to run.
Okay, so let's see. What if Alabama loses? Mississippi State plays in the SEC championship? Would they beat Georgia?
I think they can beat Georgia. I think they beat Georgia. I think they'll take Alabama out.
Oh, yeah.
If Alabama loses to someone who's ranked lower than them,
if anybody loses
in the
last 2 weeks, it's not going to take that. Yeah. Unless you're an SEC team, because it's still probably going to be in the first place to get an SEC championship. Everybody wants the SEC, right?
If Florida State loses, I can tell you right now, they're out.
Florida State, I think, might already be out. I think they're just waiting for the season to finish out. They're waiting for them to prove themselves. I don't know what they should do. Honestly, they're going to play Georgia Tech, and if they don't have to lose, win or loss to Georgia Tech, most likely they're going to have to play Georgia Tech again in the ACC championship. So, pretty fun to watch. Okay, so let's say they take the ACC champion out. Or no, let's say they take the SEC out, they leave the ACC in. TCU or Ohio State.
I put in Ohio State just because when you look at Ohio State's games, they're blowups. Looking at TCU games.
Okay, so other than that, let's say they rather than discussing take out Mississippi State and put in TCU or Ohio State, what if they discuss, well, let's say they take out Mississippi State, put TCU in, and then discuss Ohio State and Florida State pushing. If you had to compare, I guess what I'm asking you, if you had to compare Florida State and Ohio State, what would you think of those two teams?
I think Ohio State could beat Florida State easy. Or I should say easy. I don't think it'd be an easy game.
But it'd be a win.
But it'd be a win, and that's all that would really matter.
And what do you think about that as game control?
After looking at TCU's games, though, they're playing ranked teams.
Well, they're
yeah.
Not bad. They're big club, not bad.
I'll tell you right now, Texas is TCU on 3, 82 to 27.
But Florida State and Ohio State. Okay. Florida State has horrible game control. Ohio State, I think, is third or fourth. I know they're top 10 in game control. They haven't had a lot. Have they had any comeback wins?
No.
Are they really been controlling the game? I'm trying to think back.
They've been controlling their game.
Yeah, because Penn State tied that game.
The only one they really didn't have much control over, this was only first quarter, would be the Michigan State game.
Neither team really had control.
No.
The only game they really truly never had control of is Virginia Tech. But you can't blame that on them. That was new team. Jason Barrett's fine.
I don't know. I think he can Heisman contender, yes, but Heisman winner. I think in the next 4 years, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him in the Heisman conversation.
within his next 3 years, I don't see him in Heisman this year or never.
No, I think
because
this year
why is he such a big deal this year?
Okay,
he's good, but he's not the best. The only reason I think he is really a contender for the Heisman is yes, he's very good, he's very, very good, but he's a freshman. He was not expecting to play this season. He had no choice, and they're 10-1. That's not an easy thing to do. One, I think beating the number 8 Michigan State, beating only in 24 minutes. I know that's not really good. It's still a top 25 win. It's not an easy thing to do, and he has taken that opportunity and turned it into something. I think he deserves it more than anybody else does.
Do I think it's now or never? No, but do I feel like he has a chance still? Yes.
I love J.C. Barrett. I think he's a great player. I mean, I think it's now or never. Yeah, he's going to get better. It's not going to stop for him to get the pros. He'll be like, well, how every Ohio State quarterback?
I was about to say, he'll be like
why
every Ohio State
special? Why it's not going to be?
Yeah.
Why it's not going to be special for him the next 3 years? Because when he doesn't know Ohio State really has a good quarterback.
They've always got a good quarterback and a nice running back.
Pryor,
all
great quarterbacks.
Yeah, a couple good defensive players.
Ohio, that's what everybody expects a good running and throwing quarterback out of Ohio State quarterback. He still can't throw. 20 yards over the person can. But J.C. Barrett, I think it's now and never just because of the situation he was put in and how well he's handled it. And everybody already expects Ohio State to have a good quarterback. So this is really one of the only reasons to be special.
I feel it's Mariota
pocket passer. I don't feel
Mariota.
like
No, he's not. Mariota fries me.
Not as much as J.C. Barrett.
Yeah, but Mariota's got more.
He can wait till the NFL. I don't think in college football they should give a pocket passer quarterback let a team to a championship and broke some records or something. Should get an NCAA Heisman Award just because. What I love about the NCAA is running quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that can do so much more than just throw the ball. That's why when I go watch, I can't always watch NFL because they throw the ball and hand the ball off. J.C. Barrett is smart. He runs.
Yeah, but you go into the NFL. You go into the NFL as a running quarterback, you're not going to last long.
Yeah, you can be pretty good for a while.
Exactly.
J.C. Barrett can win the Heisman. I really can't see. I sadly, and I hate to say this, can't see a situation where Alabama doesn't win the championship. Which that hurts my feelings to say that, but I just don't see. No matter who you put in the top 4, no one's going to beat them. Not because they're necessarily the best team, just because. Nobody's the best team to me. Oregon's a good team, but they still never prove themselves to me. None of these teams have proved themselves to me. Not even Ohio State.
Well, that'll wrap it up for us today.
For sure, I liked it.
I liked it. You liked it?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it was a great day or night whenever you watch this.
Let's watch Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football, who's playing? Let's take our prediction.
Let's check it out.
Check it out.
Last thing before we go.
Oh, yeah. And, Florida State's last game, they're getting kicked off. Georgia Tech's going to win by a field goal. So, game tonight, Judge and the Bills. I think the Bills will win that one.
I think the Bills can pull it off.
Ravens will be playing. Anyway, that's almost as bad as when I said Tampa Bay might beat the Browns. So, anyway, put the camera pictures off the head. I'll cut that part out.
Put a bird.
Okay.
Put a bird.
Let's get going.
All right.
Have a great night. Thank you for tuning into our first show. We will hopefully have more ways for you guys to reach us.
We'll set up a Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram.
Email, website, probably a live stream, and probably online radio channel. 7 ways for you guys to get to 8.